what's been going on today, because they've definitely been slammed with this bracket today so far.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you're on the grind for so long, right, you're just trying to, like, get that next game in. Even when you're not even playing, you kind of want to practice. But you got to remember to take care of yourself as well on top of that. But here over on Cream Soda, obviously we got Goss, Zenith, Thunder, and Wave representing that team. And these are a good team that has been coming from all over the place, right? Like, these are, they're a pickup team for this one. They're seeded second at this bracket, so they're up against the #1 seed. So far the seedings have been pretty accurate for the day.
Yeah, I know as far as the seeding goes for this tournament, it was very up in the air on whether or not Cream Soda or Eternal Pursuit of Happiness would take that #1 seed, hence the reason why they're obviously on different sides of the bracket meeting here.
Absolutely.
So I think this is going to be that match that determines whether or not the seeders were right or wrong with that, obviously. But I know a lot of us were conflicted in making that decision, and I think I did speak to Popgun as well about this a little bit on the Popcast, or at least I overheard him say it. I don't even remember anymore. It was basically him saying, like, there is a certain degree to where seeds are predictions and which ones are earned. So on paper, Cream Soda hasn't earned that #1 seed. It's more of the Eternal Pursuit of Happiness, but I think all of us were kind of accepting the potential that Cream Soda could absolutely take this.
I mean, no matter what, both of them have made it here to winners finals. It's all about who's going to be able to take that set. Obviously, you've got the other team here, the Eternal Pursuit of Happiness. You've got some really big killers on this team. Obviously, Kyo, if you're no stranger to Splatoon, you know who Kyo is. Always coming up here to be able to get that #1 spot. Obviously, other players on that team, we've got Ice, Bagel, Biscuit. All of these are really renowned players in the Splatoon scene. Kind of a little bit from FT Win, a little bit from Starburst as well, and they come together to be able to form this team at the LAN. And I think I heard a bell there. Are we about ready to jump into this match?
Seems like it. We're on that weapon select screen right now, so the players are locking in their final choices. That will, they'll confirm their fate, I suppose, to a certain degree. They kind of decided afterwards, but this definitely does have some matter of influence on what happens in the next 5 minutes following that. But we're going to be starting on Hagglefish zones, Hagglefish Market Splat zones. The crowd's getting very excited, amped up for this one to begin, and honestly, I'm with that.
Yeah, obviously we got to start on the Splat zones right now. One of my favorite things about coming to Riptide is actually seeing the Splatoon community. They're always here and ready to rock for all these matches, especially when it comes down to the top 8 side, and they are here for it, man. Listen to that noise.
And that's the noise of a rattlesnake. That's what I first thought it was when they handed those out.
I'm spooked.
Spooky. One could sneak in and we wouldn't even know it right now.
Yeah, we'd be at the mercy.
So everyone's got their little signs going up. I know the audience has been having a great time trying to entertain themselves between these sets. I don't know if you caught any of that earlier, but just people running up there, showing off their plushes. But there we go. We're getting into it just now.
All right, that means we got winners finals, everyone. Get ready. Splat zones coming up for game #1 on Hagglefish, a very big classic. But you know what, audience? You know what to do. Take it away. And we're off to the races. Siren, game #1 starting off for this.
You love to hear the excited crowd as we get into the first game here. And one thing that's striking me right off that bat, the 52 on both sides. That's going to be a great job at walling things out on either side. So it's a very divisive map. You have 2 lanes on either side. So Goss is going to get up there on that left side with that splash wall, and that's going to allow them to take a full flank around. They haven't quite capped the zone just yet, but control will be theirs. They move up here. Kyo-chan getting into a great spot to be pushing up into the plat there. Going to take it a little bit slow for now as they pop that Booyah bomb, but is going to be landing on a bomb and somehow makes it out longer than I thought, but not quite making it out in time. This is a great opportunity for the members of Cream Soda to get back into the zone here.
And that's exactly what they're going to do, right? Coming right out back to center screen, paint out that entire square, give them a very good opportunity to keep on this big push. Wavy coming in. Now we got Goss in the front line here looking for that next opportunity, trying to get as much paint as possible, not only to cover the stage, but to also give you that little bit of certainty. That's a big splat coming on the Biscuit there in the background.
Yeah, picking out Biscuit here is going to be huge, and Kyo just dropping down, no fear in his heart whatsoever, taking out Zenith as Cream Soda holds this zone a little bit longer here. They're going to be able to stall, but that Zuka's going to wrap around that pole and take out Ice. That is a huge member to take out here. That is one of their #1 painters onto the side of Eternal Pursuit of Happiness.
Cream Soda starting to make a name for themselves, but there's the Booyah Bomb, going to have to force a tactical retreat, as that's going to be them taking away that first zone, start a little bit of a countdown. That's okay, they can easily try to clean this back up. They got some Soda for them to help them out with the next return. This is going to be a free pick for Keo. Oh, never mind. Actually, out of nowhere, that's going to be Zenith coming in. Managed to get that flag. Keo's going to get out of dodge just to get away from said danger. Is going to be back in that front line with the machine, the slosher.
I didn't quite expect the drop roller-like effect that Zenith was going to have in there, but nevertheless, Goss is going to be pushing back up on that right here. They have to be careful with that splash wall there, and once again, you got to be careful about where Goss is positioned. You got to micromanage him because he is going to enable Zenith to get onto this bottom right corner and take out Kyo. Zenith getting out of the zone and the hammer to boot. That's going to be a cap for them.
A wipeout on top of that, stuck between a rock and a hard place. Look at the map right now. Cream Soda is just dominating it with all of the green painting all over the place. Now it's time to get set up. That's going to be 3 picks coming from Eternal Pursuit of Happiness, trying to make that push. It's almost inevitable at this point before they take this last zone. They're starting to lose control. Timer about to tick back in their favor, and that's going to help them add some penalty points onto the table with 2 picks to add on.
Bisk backing up here to get that cooler back onto the zone there. Ice is going to be painting around, making sure no flanks are able to drop into either side of the map here. It looks like they're just trying to confirm this win here, take down those penalty points, and get this game for themselves very early on.
Biscuit looking for a fight, one-on-one. Oh, forces a retreat that's going to allow Biscuit to be able to create some even more room for themselves. Ice going for a bomb throw, not going to be able to find the catch. Big splat on Ice coming out from Thunder. Going to be able to give them a wipeout on top of that, take away the center map, and they're going to keep on pushing on through the map. Penalty points are here, though, so it's only a matter of time before they start to close that large gap that they've been having from the Eternal Pursuit.
Bagel is going to be watching this left corner here as that hammer enters their base. Zenith is going to be trying to stall a little bit longer here. Ice having to be very careful. 36 is going to be starting to tick down here, but Biscuit going down. That's actually huge. The Booyah Bomb is going to be going out on his own, but that's not going to be able to stall it. Thunder is going to be there. He's going to be painting right over that thing. Zenith backing up, making sure they're staying alive here with 15 seconds left on the board.
They've got to paint. They've got to paint right now. There's only 13 points left to go. They're trying to essentially, they managed to take back control, add those penalty points, and they are back in this game. Huge pick coming out from Wavy from long range. Gonna be able to drop some more Soda, help out with the recharge times, as well as Thunder going for a potential flank here on the right side. They're gonna try to find this next pick here on center stage. They're gonna start to rotate towards the right siren.
A Thunder popping that Zuka, trying to charge it up fast, but not quite getting the payoff there. That is going to be a held zone cap for Eternal Pursuit of Happiness. They're going to be holding this a little bit longer here. That cooler is going to be coming out. They have to hold on to it a bit longer, but they have to decide. Are they going to go down here? Are they going to fight for zone? Are they going to get ahead of it?
Zenith playing out of their mind, actually avoiding the Booyah Bomb, coming right back in with the mallet. Goes right through the center. They're trying to get the center map, but they can't outpaint the painter Q. Potentially going for a flank. This is going to be out of control. Another Booyah Bomb coming out. And that's going to be another capture for Cream Soda. Are you kidding me? Only 20 seconds left on the clock.
Thunder and Zenith collapsing on Kyo there. And now they're going to be moving up. 30 seconds left on their penalty, but 13 seconds left in the game. They're going to be having to cap in the zone here. It's just going to be Bisk left there. There's 2 down on the side of Cream Soda. That's 3. They have to get a pick. They're going to be going into overtime here. Very limited time, but that's going to be a tap shot on the Goss.
They won't even have enough time to make this push because there's barely any seconds left. Only 9 points left to go. Sorry, 19 points left to go. That's a huge pick coming up from Keo. Gonna get that on Goss. Potentially trying to catch maybe another. That's a wipeout, and that's gonna be game number 1 going to the Eternal Pursuit of Happiness. And look at the pop off from such a nail biter of a game 1 to start off winners finals.
I've never seen a game 1 go that hype before. I don't think I've had to shriek like that. Like, I cannot believe what I'm seeing this early on, this intense of a matchup. Now you're seeing what I'm seeing when I was trying to see this tournament. And I'm like, number 1, number 2, who could it be?
Just like, you just throw a die and it's gonna land on whatever, because both teams put up quite a good effort there in that entirety of that first game. I just can't believe how close it was, and now we're going towards this best 3 of 5, right? It's going to be counter picks now, so it's going to be on the onus of Cream Soda to pick what map and what game mode we're going to be jumping to next from a limited list based on what's going to be on there. So do you have any thoughts on where we might be going? You think you got any insight on what like game modes they prefer?
I don't think I do, but I think I have a friend here who might.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Can we get the expert analysis from, ladies and gentlemen, 9-Hole Grains here in the building? All right, 9, if you were to bring up a new game mode for this map of what they're going to be able to bring, what counter pick do you think they're going to be able to do today?
Well, Austin, I think they're probably going to go into another zones match. That one was really close.
Yeah, you know what? I do agree with that, 9. And also, you're looking swole, brother.
Yeah, I've been really working on it. Heading up in the morning, going to the gym. A lot of protein shakes.
Oh, yeah, but hey, you got to be careful with those protein shakes, bro. But anyways, that's going to be 9 Whole Grains. Ladies and gentlemen, give it a little round of applause for our guest appearance from 9. Thank you so much, 9.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Really nice of him to show up.
Yeah, I know. It's like, you know, you love those reunions.
Yeah. And now we got game number 2 coming up for this winner's final. Oh, hello.
Pooh. That's his name. All right, we got Pooh. Can we get a Pooh in chat? Come on, crowd.
Something a little bit different. We're going to go over to Clam Blitz for game number 2. And I got to say, one of my favorite game modes. I love how, like, chaotic this game mode can become.
Yeah, me too. I do find it interesting that they've decided to go into it on this particular map. I guess it's not a bad choice whatsoever. It's one of the stronger maps that is very strongly preferred by a lot of teams. So if they did get any practice against each other before the tournament, they probably have a good idea of what map and modes they might excel on against them. That's definitely one of those things I went into the tournament with as well. When you practice the map list a lot, you kind of notice the patterns going into it. And when there's only 2 teams that are quite this good in the North American scene, there is quite limited practice. And depending on whether or not they agree to play against each other prior to the tournament, which, you know, sometimes they do disagree, this could be kind of interesting.
Yeah, definitely. And on top of that, I feel like Clam Blitz is such a different mode when it's like on the main stage on Winners Finals with coordinated call-outs and everything compared to, like, say, you're jumping into solo queue. You know, like, it's a completely different game mode because communication is so key on this because of the utter chaos that's happening, right? Being able to call out when you be able to build a super clan, be able to throw it into the hoop, when you're going to be able to go for the dive in, and being able to just, like, communicate, hey, jump to me. There's so many different things that can, like, you know, affect there and be able to bring on towards the table. So it looks like we got our teams picking up their weapons, might be solidifying it so far, but I'm very excited for this. Guys, are you excited for game number 2?
You love to see it. You know, that's one of the other interesting parts about playing this on a LAN, on a big stage like this, is that Clam Blitz can take you by surprise. And there are some things that the players might not be able to see, but the crowd can. And so just based on the reaction, they might be able to anticipate some things that they might not otherwise think of, right?
Yeah. Just being able to see, like, everyone's point of view, too. We got 8 TVs here for everyone to be able to see. But here we go. Game number 2, Clam Blitz on Scourge Gorge. You want to say it with them this time?
Oh, yes. Yeah, let's do it.
Ready?
Go!
Go! And they're off to the races again towards the center stage. Now, if you're not familiar with the Clam Blitz mode, this is all about trying to collect as many clams as possible to build up the super clam to break open that hoop. You'll see how it goes here momentarily. We already got ourselves a little bit of a scuffle here.
Biscuit getting up in it with Goss. Those 252 gals are going to be going at it quite frequently here, but now we panned over to Kyo, who is going to be taken out by Zenith. That's actually a huge pick from Zenith there. That does give Wave an opportunity to move up without the fear of someone sloshing over that wall at them. But that hammer going to reach them around that wall with the assist of Wave, and it looks like this is going to be a very early push for Cream Soda as these picks keep coming off their team, and that's going to be a wipe very gradually, but sure enough it is.
Yeah, exactly. You saw that moment that I'm talking about with the key communication, right? Thunder was so close to being able to build a super clam, so they were tossing all their clams that direction so they could break open the hoop as soon as possible. But now Eternal's Pursuit of Happiness starting to make their mount a comeback here and start to push away their opponents before they start to keep throwing in clams. But hold on a second. That's a lot of points on the board.
That's down to 47 already. That's
keeps
not
going.
That's not cheesy whatsoever. We need to be working on this. Bagel going to be popping that cooler onto that top left here. Going to do whatever they can to dislodge Zenith from their base. That hammer's going to come out, but it's going to stop Zenith from doing anything. The cruel nature of this game. But Zenith does still have that cooler, I believe, so can return very quickly with this, but has lost their special.
Already 20 points left remaining on that hoop. Cream Soda starting to bring it back in a big way. I feel like the Eternal Pursuit of Happiness can't just bring this back until it finally shut down that amount of offense that was coming from the opponent's team. And now it's up for Eternal Pursuit of Happiness to start to paint this map a little bit more green and start collecting clams for their own so they can mount a push themselves.
Yeah, we see Ice here getting in a great defensive position here. They need a little bit more than defense at this point, though. They need to find a way to break back into mid, as Cream Soda has taken up all that real estate, and they do not want to give any of it up. That hammer is going to be coming out, but that's going to be Biscuit going down as well. That trade is going to be massive here, as Wave is once again in a great position to support their teammates as they get back into this mid fight.
And he's also holding on to 6 clams there. Could turn that into a super clam later on. See how it's going to be able to go. But now we're focusing here on Goss to be able to put that wall while we see how the Eternal Pursuit of Happiness is trying to paint this map as green as possible. We got some supers here ready to go. Try to go into one, but unfortunately getting caught off guard. Goss going to be able to retreat in the process. We're just kind of doing a little bit of a tug of war here.
A tug of war means nothing if they're already holding on to that lead, and it looks like Cream Soda's going in for even more. Multiple power clams going to be coming out. That hammer's going to be coming out for Zenith as well. That's going to be another dunk, and they've already broken through all of their penalty. It's only 20 points to go, and what do we have? Goss is under the basket. 2 more clams. 1 more. That's a knockout for Cream Soda.
All of that happening.
The crowd is absolutely ridiculously energetic right now.
For good reason. You saw how Goss was doing a 1v1 against Ice right underneath the hoop so they could break it open and try to keep getting more clams in there. Managed to score it up and get a 100-0 knockout before the timer even hit 2 minutes. What a retaliation for map number 2.
Yeah, that was a very quick turnaround. That first game was such a quick overtime clinch. Like, they barely got that first win. So for it to turn around like that and Eternal Pursuit of Happiness not even being able to get a push out in that game is basically unheard of.
Yeah, I never saw them build a power claim once, you know? Like the whole time, they had the pity claim that dropped that one time, but like they were just kind of struggling to get any sort of map control the whole time because they were like kind of staggering the splats, right? Like every single time it was never just like the clean wipeout. It was always just one by one. So it was hard for them to try to like group up together, get their specials, build their specials, and then try to mount a comeback.
Yeah, that's kind of almost unheard of, but at the same time, they never really had an opportunity to catch their breath. They were never able to clear mid, and that's where all that clam economy is. So they never really had a chance. They had to win multiple fights in mid, and the ones that Cream Soda were winning were won so convincingly that they were just able to take up all that space, hold all the economy, and just keep fighting in their base. It didn't even matter if they went down. Zenith was just doing whatever she wanted.
Yeah, the fights were just constantly taking place right up against their own home turf. So now we got Eternal Pursuit of Happiness with the counter pick here. They're going to be able to dictate the game mode and the map this time around. I would not be shocked if we see them wanting to take it back to splat zones, even though that map 1 was insanely close between both of the teams.
It was very close indeed, but I think sometimes just the anatomy of the map itself might dictate the decision that they make here. Seems like they're having a tough time deliberating on what map they want to go through. Of course, there's only 6 zones maps that they can choose from, but actually, I'm not even sure if they can really counterpick into that. I actually haven't looked into the counterpick rules, but most of the time you're not allowed to pick the one you last won on, as far as mode goes. So they might be locked out of that. They might be stuck between probably either going into Clam Blitz again, Tower Control, or Rainmaker. That could very well be the case, and they're not really spoiled for choice if that's what they're going through here, especially if they're not really considering Clam Blitz. But it seems like they've made a decision.
One of the crowd favorite maps here, Mako Mart, making an appearance here with on the tower control. Obviously, people love being able to come to this map. It feels like it's one of those maps that you just feel it's fun, right? There's not too many gimmicks there. Kind of an even middle map that you'd be able to just jump on, especially on tower control where you have like the 3 towers in kind of a nice spot.
Yeah, it's kind of a perfectly sized map in my opinion. It gives a lot of weapons a opportunity to play in the same ballpark as others. I would say there's some maps that are so large that range just dominates, and some that are such tight corners that it's just like, okay, I'm going to play a shooter and it's going to be fine. But Makomar is one of those maps where pretty much anyone has something that can work there, I would say. So that's why I think it's so favored within the competitive community, and it's such like a, I guess it's like the equivalent of comfort food for competitive players. So this is definitely something like a veteran player like Kyo would probably want to pick into. So that's I can see that as the reasoning for the choice.
Yo, this crowd is hyping up this map 3. All right, here we go, everybody. Tower control, Mako Mart. You already know the vibes.
Oh, we got the vibes. Ready, gamers? All right. Let me hear it.
And never gets old.
All right, we've just been informed of the counterpick rules. My suspicions were correct. So tower control was the choice for them here. You can see Biscuit trying to get a very early pick on this map. Zenith once again being a little bit ratty, getting up on their right stack. Are they going to be able to take out Kyo? They are. That's a huge pick very early on. Hammer is going to be ready on deck. Zuka's going to be coming out in the bottom left, and Zenith moving up. Very daring, has that cooler, so they don't really care. It's just going to be the blaster left at the side of Eternal Pursuit of Happiness, and Zenith is playing cleanup.
Cream Soda just making a gigantic push, and you're seeing Zenith with that Splatana just getting so much mileage out of this weapon to be able to get splat after splat, winning a lot of 1v1s. Biscuit pushing up a little bit, but unfortunately get called out here by Wave, who's trying to just chill on that tower. They're pushing it even further. We're starting to approach tower number 2, checkpoint 2. Here we go. Looking like this might be up distant. Wait a moment. Managed to catch the opponent, but now we're seeing Goss here potentially trying to come back here to make that final little bit of push. There's only 2 more seconds left on it.
Yeah, not quite getting that checkpoint there. Thunder going to be dropping on that bottom left side. Goss is there just waiting for the members of Eternal Pursuit of Happiness to feel a little bit safe and maybe drop on their head, but they don't know what's coming to them. Bagel is going to be watching that left stack there, is going to be getting the team pick onto one of the members of Cream Soda there. So Kyo going to be looking out for everyone here. That bubble is ready as well as they take out Biscuit. That's going to be very unfortunate for them. Zenith says, hey, that's another opportunity for me, but not quite. That's going to be stopped right there.
They even had the mallet ready to go. The special was locked on, but now that they've been sent back towards home base, they lose a little bit of that meter. Now Thunder throwing out a little bit of some bombs here to try to force the opponents to back up and out of position ever so slightly. Gonna go back towards painting because we got to build up the special meters. We got 1 built up here right now for Cream Soda. That's gonna be give you the soda to be able to make this push here for Eternal Happiness. Trying to make some coverage here, not gonna be able to find 2 splats on top of that. That's gonna be enough for them to turn this into a 4v2 and start to make this first push.
Ice hopping on that tower there. Looks like they're trying to build up a Zuka once again. That hammer is going to be stopped. Zenith is going to get stopped in mid, but they have to watch every angle of that tower there. Bombs are coming out. Everyone is camped up on that top left area. They're going to have to clear this if they want to make it anywhere close to that second checkpoint, which neither team has been able to clear thus far in the match.
Right now, the Eternal Pursuit of Happiness is just stopping push after push. Every flank coming their way. They're making sure to check both their left and right side every single time they're going for this. And now we're starting to slowly approach the second checkpoint. Big pickup coming out from Bagel. Going to shut down Thunder. Now we're seeing another potential. We're just going to back up, kind of play the anchor role, right? Let people jump to you so you can get back into the fight a little bit faster. Oh, no, not the Trizuka from still downtown. Clearing up space and also getting some picks for your trouble.
Biscuit here getting into it with Thunder once again around that tower there, but it's once again going to be cleaned up by Zenith. That hammer is going to be coming out. It's going to take out Ice as well. They do have the cooler out on the side of Eternal Pursuit of Happiness, and they are using it to their advantage here. 3 points away from that lead. It's going to be backing up for a little bit longer, but they just have to stall here. They're not that far away. They can hold on to that checkpoint a little bit longer. They might be able to secure it, but Goss going to get taken out there. That's huge. Bagel's in a great position to defend this tower. That's Zuka's going to go around the tower, and they're going to whip enough shots. That is going to be the lead for Eternal Pursuit.
Breaking that second checkpoint. Zenith winning another 1v1 against Kyo, trying to get a second pick, but that's a-okay because we got one of the big heavy hitters out here. And starting to still get the checkpoint. We're just trading splats at this point. 1 for 1, dodge for dodge. And now Cream Soda can start to finally clean up shop here a little bit and get back into the thick of things. This is when things are starting to become really dire for Cream Soda. They got to get this pick really early on and start to push it. There's a trade right there.
They're going to be doing their best here to try and defend this lead, even if it means stalling, even if it means Biscuit running around, getting the pick on the wave, getting the pick on a Goss, moving up here. Are they going to be able to secure it into a third? Not quite, but that's all they need. They just need to keep up this pressure. Only 54 seconds left to go in the match. Thunder's going to be holding on to that Zuka. They don't want to have to use that defensively, but they might just have to.
The pressure is on now for Cream Soda. They got to do something here and now. Goss trying to cover some options, sees a back pick, gets a flank on Biscuit, trying to move it up, potentially turn this into a second one, gonna dodge out there because he saw a 1v2. It's like, nah, I'm getting the heck out of here. Gets another pick for your troubles here for Cream Soda. Throwing out a little bit of specials here to cover some grounds. Get Bagel, might be by accident, going for the this way ping to let people know that there are some opponents right over in this direction. Here comes the final push for Cream Soda.
Final push opportunity it is. They are going to have to be very careful here. There's going to be a lot of pesky members of Eternal Pursuit of Happiness trying to get behind them, trying to divide their attention away from the main objective here. They're going to be popping that cooler here. It's going to go right into overtime as they hold on to that tower here. Do they know Kyo is behind them? How long can Kyo keep this up? How can they get on the tower when he's on the ground?
The flank from Keo from downtown, getting pick after pick. If he wasn't in that position, that could have been a very scary potential break of the second checkpoint, but you already know he cleans it up just like he always does. Gets a pick, it turns this into a lead for himself, 2-1 in this race to 3.
I mean, the race is on. Eternal Pursuit now in a better position here. They are at match point in this best-of-5 set. So obviously the heat is on. One team was going to get here eventually, but it's kind of worrying. I think now Cream Soda's a bit on the back foot here. Even if they get that counter pick and they win it, then they're in the position where Eternal Pursuit gets that last game counter pick, and that's where it matters.
That's what makes map 1 matter so much, right? Especially when you're in the counter pick format, because you lose counter pick advantage if you lose that first game. That's exactly what's going on here. Like you said, even if Cream Soda wins this map number 4, it's going to give it up to the Eternal Pursuit of Happiness. Is going to be able to have that last pick to end the set. Even if it gets to game 5, we'll have to wait and see. They might be able to get a shutdown option here momentarily, but also we're going to see if we're going to eventually see that Rainmaker mode come out or not for game number 4.
Yeah, I think now they're only locked out of Clam Blitz, so they can go back into tower, they can go back into zones, and I feel like it might be time for them to go back into zones because they had it. They nearly did have it that first game. It was very, very close. They have to be watching all those angles there. What's been happening in both games that they've lost so far is that just Kyo has gone on an absolute rampage, and so it's one of those things where it's like, where and when are we going to take care of Kyo? And it better not be before the end of the game. I guess so. Well, it has to be sometime, right?
Looks like it actually is going to be Rainmaker for map number 4 here, Undertow. Ooh.
Maybe controversial. I don't know. I heard a little bit of a reaction, I think. How do we feel about Rainmaker on Undertow crowd? Give me a boom or a doom. All right, that sounded genuinely positive.
I got a positive reaction out of that. That's okay. But on Undertow specifically, it's one of those maps where I feel like getting after that first push can be very difficult to get on that uphill, right? But once you get past that ramp, it can end in a second. That's just the main mode in general, right? They actually added in that checkpoint for the first one you're supposed to break on Rainmaker before from Splatoon 2 to 3, right? Which actually makes it so you don't just like immediately end the match in 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's been very helpful, especially with how fast-paced 3 is compared to 2. We have that cooler there. If checkpoints didn't exist, yeah, that would be kind of a nightmare. You would just lose instantly all the time. But thankfully they do, and it kind of helps. Maybe we should go to the tower format. Maybe we need more checkpoints.
You make it 3 checkpoints before you get to the end?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, whoa, okay.
Ice, waiting on you.
Yeah, well, that's kind of spoilers. Come on now.
They can't see the screen.
I guess so. Unless
all
they
right.
got Twitch TV out on their phone.
Hey, they might have it.
All right, everyone.
One more time here. Game number 4 starting off in a pretty dominant fashion here. Both teams going towards the center as fast as possible. Whoever can pull off that, it's going to be Cream Soda breaking it first here on the middle of the stage. So this is one of those maps where it's like there's a lot of places to hide here on the left and right side, but it's so close quarters that you're eventually going to run into an opponent.
This is the slowest I've seen either of these teams play so far in the set, and it's paying off somehow. They're picking up that Rainmaker, and even though they went 2 down, I think they're going to be pushing it up anyways. They're still going down, but they're going to hold that Rainmaker and put it in a great position for them to just make it so that they have to push into them, and that kind of works out for now. For the time being, they're going to be going 2 down, but that Rainmaker is not in a very good spot for them. They have to divide their attention from either side of the map as members like Goss move up here and get those picks onto the other gal, which is kind of huge. Once again.
Yeah, very good stuff coming after him from the Eternal Pursuit of Happiness. We got Thunder shooting off some Trizukas here. Kyo gonna get a point-blank splat here on Zenith. Gonna force the Rainmaker to reset. Ice getting another pick there on Zenith. Turn this into a 4v4 again as we're gonna start to spawn right back in. We're gonna try to charge up our special meters. We're seeing Eternal Pursuit of Happiness almost has their special ready to rock here.
Bagel trying to be charging up that tactic cooler onto that left side of the map. They kind of have to play it a bit carefully here because they do anticipate members like Zenith running up at them when they get the opportunity, and it looks like they did catch their bluff. Zenith going down there, Goss going down. That's going to be 1 by 1 by 1. They're going to be picking up that Rainmaker here, and this looks like it could be the start of a push, but that cooler coming in clutch. Zenith not getting punished for it much at all, except for the rain. What?
literally turning into a cartoon there for a second. They're going to run around that pillar, trying to chase after the opponent. Managed to stop Zenith in their tracks after managed to stop that approach. Goss coming in, potentially having an opportunity to make this one more push. But what happened here is last time is you saw there might be a sniper there waiting there on the right side, and that's exactly what they're doing, right? It's going to be Bagel holding it down, but here's a prime opportunity. He has to play the splat bomb. Good evasive maneuvers. Maybe wants it so bad. Does he get it? Slam dunk!
Wave getting that checkpoint out of the way, and that's huge on this map. That gives them a lot of opportunities to move it either side of the map. They could be taking it on a sneaky push later on, who knows? But that checkpoint on this map in particular is kind of difficult and really easy to defend. They have a lot of opportunities of play now, and they basically just opened Pandora's box. But speaking of opening an opportunity here, Goss stuck in that corner. I thought they were going for a flank, but I think they got exposed by the whale.
Yeah, literally just wailing for their lives there. We're going to see another pick coming out here from Zenith Splatana, coming in one more time, looking for another 1v2 action. Has to back up ever so slightly, recognizing they have their specials ready to go. Hiding from the Trizuga. The third shot is not gone off yet until just now. They're just waiting for the Rainmaker to reset back here as Ice try to break this as fast as possible. They had the weapons ready to rock. Now it's Ice's turn to try to push this right back here onto the thing, and this looks very uncontested. Hold on a second. Ice breaks it open.
Ice getting it on there, but they're the second team to do it, so they don't quite secure the lead at that time. It's going to be everyone down there as that Rainmaker once again gets picked up by the members of Cream Soda here. We are more than halfway through the match, and there has not been a significant push on either side. So from this point on, I believe either team is going to be trying to secure what we would call a safe lead, because 61 and 60 sure ain't cutting it.
No, absolutely not. And even at that point, as the timer starts to tick down ever so slightly, Cream Soda could opt to go for a defensive maneuver too. They are the ones currently holding on to that Rainmaker, doing a lot of evasive maneuvers. Unfortunately, getting called out from long distance. Biscuit coming in clutch to try to stop everyone that's going back towards it. Looking for a three-peat here. Managed to find one more on top of that. Gets called out, and they actually took the lead in the process.
56 is nothing on this map. They've just barely grazed that checkpoint's edge, so they've not quite made it far enough to do anything significant in this match. So once again, both of these teams are still in the same position they were before, getting all of these picks in mid. But for what? What worth are we getting out of this? This Rainmaker is going to be popping once again, and we're back to square one. Ice is ready to pop it. Kyo moving up on that right side, but it looks like more members of Cream Soda are focusing on that pop. That's going to be a lot of mid-control there as they cover the map with the pop.
Time is not on their side as they're desperately trying to find that first pick. That's going to be one, turning this into a 4v3 as the push starts to begin, trying to play this dance around the sprinkler, around Ice. Ice is still in there, throwing down a spot bomb in the process. Here comes the Mallet. Here comes the Trizuka, and we're desperately trying to find the next pick. That was something that we desperately need as Kyo staying alive. Gonna be a beacon for teammates to be able to jump in with 20 seconds left on the clock. If Cream Soda's gonna make a move, now is the moment, because they're gonna be about to get knocked down in the losers finals.
This is a tough decision they're gonna have to make here. Wave holding up behind that Rainmaker there. They're gonna be trying to get some picks. Somebody has to commit to picking it up eventually. 8 seconds left to go. Wave goes down. No one's gonna be able to get there in time. Kyo is watching it. Bisk's holding that, and that is gonna be the game for Eternal Pursuit of Happiness, sending Cream Soda to the loser side of the bracket.
Gonna be a 3-1 victory for Kyo's team and everyone else on it. The Eternal Pursuit of Happiness guaranteeing themselves a spot in Grand Finals, locking themselves in for a top 2 guaranteed finish here at Riptide 2024. Audience, did you like that match?
I think they liked it.
I think that, I got that idea as well.